What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV, and this video I want to talk about Michael Jackson. I did one video about him. I think it might have been close to 2 weeks ago, and in this video, man, I want to do a defense of Michael Jackson. Okay, we all know about that crappy-mentary that's out there called Leaving Neverland, which paints the portrait of Michael Jackson as a weird, disgusting pedophile. Okay. Um, I tell you, man, common sense is something that is sorely lacking in this country. Um, it's really troublesome, this latest trend of celebrities who are being targeted by individuals, usually sociopaths, who have no real interest other than acquiring financial gains at, you know, they acquire financial gain at the cost of the victims, who are the real victims, the persons who they accuse of these vile acts, these persons' reputation, and in some of people's cases, in situations, their freedom. Now, Bill Cosby is no angel. He cheated on his wife. Okay. But I think that 98% of the charges levied against him in his trial were false. I do believe R. Kelly is a pedophile. However, I don't think all of the charges levied against him are true. And I think that ultimately, R. Kelly, although he seems to be preparing himself well for what's going to come, I think R. Kelly probably has a better than 50% chance of doing some prison time. Michael Jackson, of course, is no longer with us. He's been dead since June 25th of 2009. But this hasn't stopped two accusers of all of a sudden changing their minds while they're deep into their 30s. And now all of a sudden saying that no, Michael Jackson did sexually molest us. Both of these individuals, both of them are known liars. This isn't brought up by the mainstream media, who of course are not doing their job and are more interested in prolonging a highly profitable story for as long as they can milk it. That's what the media has been reduced to. The media no longer reports hard-cutting, uh, hard stories, but just a plethora of fluff stories and salacious tabloid uh, stories. That's what the so-called journalistic field is doing right now. It's a disgrace. And no wonder our populace is so uneducated and so misinformed. No wonder we're in the situation we're in right now. What's not being reported by the mainstream media is that the niece and nephew of Michael Jackson, I believe the names are Brandi and Todd Jackson, have been on a crusade to clear their late uncle's name. I think Todd recently appeared on CNN. All right. I believe they both, Todd and Brandi, appeared on a live stream on a YouTuber called Nicole's View. I'll put a link to that appearance in my description box. And the thing that really gets me about all of this shit are the lies and inconsistencies that not being reported by the mainstream media. The fact that both accusers changed their stories shortly after they sued the estate and are suing the estate for anywhere between hundreds of millions to over $1 billion. How is that not mentioned in the crappymentary? Why is it that one of the accusers, named Wade Robeson, never mentioned in the crappymentary that he dated Brandi Jackson for 7 years? He never mentioned that he dated the niece of Michael Jackson, and that Michael Jackson introduced him to his niece. But yet in the crappymentary, he states that Michael Jackson, quote unquote, persuaded Wade never to deal with girls, and girls are trouble, and don't trust females, and said that Michael would get jealous if Wade showed any interest in females. One glaring lie that was never disputed on the crappymentary is that Safe Chuck said that Michael Jackson took him to Euro Disney in 1988. Now, all of us who are at least pushing 40 years of age know that Euro Disney, which ultimately was a failure, or at least at one point in time was a failure, didn't open until 1992. James, one of the accusers, said that Michael Jackson gave him the bullwhip from the Indiana Jones movie, when in fact the bullwhip from from the Indiana Jones movie is in a museum and was never owned by Michael Jackson. One of the accusers' mother said she danced and celebrated when Michael Jackson died because, quote, he could no longer abuse, unquote, when in fact the mother's son said in his deposition that he did not come to the realization of abuse until 2013, when he was well in his 30s. So if he never even mentioned that to anybody, how could his mother have been dancing and celebrating 4 years earlier? The FBI investigated Michael Jackson for 17 years, from 1992 all the way until the time of his death. They found zero evidence of sexual abuse. Now, Wade Robeson is a convicted perjurer. None of this information is being presented on that crappymentary. This is all been about money. That's it. This is totally 100% about money. Individuals that have come to Michael Jackson's defense include Macaulay Culkin, child actor, who would know more than anybody else whether or not Michael Jackson was a pedophile. Aaron Carter, uh, Slash, T.I., Evan Ross, Austin Brown have all come to the defense of Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was one of the most beloved individuals in the entertainment business. And what they're trying to do to this man is absolutely disgusting. 100% disgusting. There have been emails that have been found of collusion, evidence of collusion between Wade Robeson and his mother to prove that this whole situation with the molestation allegations started, they were concocted around 2012. Taj Jackson said in the Nicole's View interview that I believe it was in the United States version of the crappymentary. A statement that he stated, a statement that he stated, which would have contradicted things that were said in the crappymentary, were totally omitted from the crappymentary without any type of explanation for their disappearance. Last but not least, I want to give a big fuck you to Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey used the Jackson family, in particular Michael Jackson, for gain, ratings wise, fame wise, all right, financially, the whole shebang. I remember when she did an interview with Michael Jackson. I think it was around the time of the first allegations in 1993. I remember her show getting something like 30 something million people watching. She pretended to be this man's friend in life. And now look what she does when he's no longer here and she can no longer benefit from him. She does a complete 180 and now sides with proven liars, and says this man is a pedophile. We all know the truth, all right? Michael Jackson, if the FBI finds absolutely no evidence whatsoever that this man sexually molests kids, if the two main uh, accusers from that crappymentary have already been debunked as far as their veracity, what does that tell you about Oprah Winfrey? That's what Monique was talking about with that bitch. Fuck her.